Hello, everyone.
Oh, hi, Doug. How you doing?
It's back.
When did you get here?
When did I get here? I just got here. You guys come here often?
No.
No, not really.
No, very infrequent.
What brings you here then?
Every like week or two.
It's
I don't know, I was hoping you guys would tell me.
usually weekly.
You're fucking lying
Weekly?
to yourself. You are lying to yourself.
No, it's usually weekly.
Man is just lying through
My
his teeth.
ass.
No, it's weekly. We just don't record.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just group discussion.
Yeah. Just don't record.
If we're counting that, then it's every fucking day.
Yeah, it's a daily podcast. We just don't record it. Yeah.
Break into groups.
We have breakout rooms and everything.
Yeah, I know, right?
Then we
just
formulate.
just like over Zoom.
Yeah, then we formulate new jokes and everything, for our podcast. That one that we're doing right now. Good afternoon, morning, evening, or night. Welcome to episode four of the podcast.
Holy shit. You know what that
Uh,
means?
You guys think we got? You guys, how far do you guys think we would have gotten before we forgotten about the podcast?
Oh man, I think at least one of us would be like bringing it up all the time.
Fair enough. Yeah. I don't know. I have I like doing this. This is fun. It's a little bit of there's a pen under my desk now. There's just a bit of a distraction, but it's always fun to shoot the shit with the friends. So hope everyone has been enjoying it. But it is episode 4 of the podcast. Today we have usual 2 knuckleheads. We have Nolan and we have Otis. And we have Simply filling in for Reese again. Simply, welcome to the podcast again. Second week in a row.
Yes.
How's it feel?
Simply is Reese.
Yeah, I'm replacing. Don't worry, I have notes here about him. We got oil. We got
Engineering.
He's totally got a head of hair.
He's got hair.
Yeah,
He
totally
looks like
is. No,
he looks like Ninja.
he just has a fucking toupee.
He's wearing a
It's just-
ninja headband.
It's just Simply's me from Mario Kart.
But
Dude,
how was your?
I still have to change that.
Yeah, you should update it like right now. How was your guys' week? It's been a week since the last episode. Guys, I can't keep this bit up.
Week.
It's been a month.
No, it hasn't. It's been 18 days. 18 days.
Oh, I was gonna say.
So 2 weeks. Yeah. How
No.
have your 2 weeks been? Don't speak up all at once. Jeez, guys, come on.
I didn't die this.
Hey, that's a start. My week's been pretty good.
18 days late as of 4 days ago, Duran.
Yeah, that's not that long. That's 2 weeks, brother.
It's 3 weeks.
No, it ain't. There are 14 days in a
21
week.
days is...
Yeah, but I'm talking about when the episode was uploaded. So it's been 2 weeks. There's 14 days in 2 weeks, brother. Yar.
Oh, Nolan's computer's dying. Awesome.
Oh.
Everything's going according to plan. Trust me.
So let's get some dead air while Nolan fixes his computer. So my week's been pretty good. I've had school and whatnot. That's why the podcast didn't come out last week. Wait, no, it came out last week. It came out on Wednesday. Holy crap, the room's acoustics are bad. But I've been doing school. I've been working. School's been busy. How's school going for you, Otis? Are you learning a lot? Are you having fun? You making friends?
Yeah, I'm having fun.
It's like a Persona game. Are you making social links? Are you?
Yeah,
you-
I'm making so many social links.
Yeah.
I'm starting up peer tutoring because the college pays me for something that students can access for free, which is kind of cool.
Mhm.
And I'm probably gonna fucking teach people how to do stuff anyway, so I might as well get paid for it.
Cool. Now, what's it like being being a teacher? What do you think about that? What do you think about being teachers nowadays, or being a tutor or a mentor?
Would not be able to be a teacher. Doing the same thing every day for like multiple years, teaching the same curriculum, I would not be able
Hello,
to do that.
We started talking about
I was
computer fucking died.
Yeah, I'm considering if I do get a position with the research center of the college, becoming an instructional assistant, which is like helping out with a class and
Yeah.
not teaching it. That's something that I would consider because coding is fun for me, and that's like one of the hardest things for people who are doing the program that I'm in.
Mm-hmm.
So, might as well put my skills to good use.
It's always interesting to me, and I have a lot of people who I know who want to be educators, and it's always like strikes me because like these are the same people that are saying it's like, oh, you know, once I'm done with school, I never want to step foot in another school, you know, kind of thing, and then
Bitch,
you know,
you're teaching.
yeah, you talk to them, and they're like, oh yeah, I'm teaching for a living, or you know, I'm going to school for being a educator in whatever grade, and I'm just like, you are batshit insane, but you have my respect because I don't know, teachers just don't get a whole lot of
Dude,
respect
the COVID
or pay.
The COVID child epidemic is fucking insane as of the last like 3 years.
COVID child epidemic?
Children who have not been socialized and
Yeah.
have grown up solely on the internet and are absolutely like the worst people.
Growing up
ever.
chronically online, like more than
It's not even that. It's growing up chronically online, isolated, and not socialized. It's fucking insane. I have so much respect for like new teachers in the younger grades. It is fucking crazy.
Well, it wasn't,
AKA my mom.
well, it wasn't
You're my
that.
mother.
I'm not understanding. It wasn't that long that you're isolated. You can socialize.
No, but there are kids who were like 3 and 4 when like COVID first started, right?
Like they didn't gain consciousness until COVID hit, and they
And then
never got
the-
to
the
socialize
first-
with other children.
The first thing they're learning in their social development is, oh, look at my iPad. That's the problem.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
I get it now. Okay.
Like,
And
it's-
then
Like there are
that
horror stories I've read. Holy shit, they're bad.
that paired with like the fact that parents don't want to be parents a lot of the time. And
Oh
it's
yeah,
like,
that's yeah.
like it's leading to kids who just like don't get the social setting,
Mm-hmm.
and they're like, oh hey, look at this. I'm like can get whatever I want whenever I want because I've always gotten this.
Well, I
when
go
I
to
was
like
at home in quarantine.
restaurant. Like this happened a lot when I was at on vacation this summer. Like we were at Universal Studios and everything. And you know, you're there for the park. You're there for the atmosphere and whatnot. And we were sitting at Toadstool's Cafe. Shout out Toadstool's Cafe. Shout out to Chef Toad for giving salmonella to so many people. But
Yeah, did you get food poisoning?
no, I was fine. I just got a upset
good.
stomach because I ate a pound meatball that was spicy. That was good. You know, you're there for the fun of the park and everything.
You're there for the experience,
Yeah,
not
you're there
so
for the
much
experience. And they were like, you know, I don't know people's families. I'm not going to sit here and preach and you know talk bad about some people. Well, yeah, I'm gonna break my rule for a bit. There were like parents that were just letting like their kids be on their iPad during the fucking like park thing, like at the restaurant. It's like, you know, there has to be a time and a place for it, eh?
I mean, at least it's at the restaurant. Like, I'm sure you saw it where it's like kids are just walking around at the like
Yeah.
going through the park, eyes glued to a phone. But
Mm-hmm. Like I saw a mix of both, but I don't know. It's just, I mean, it's a different generation. I grew up in a different kind of household where where when it's dinner time, it's dinner time. When it's lunchtime, it's lunchtime, and
exactly right.
No phones at the dinner table.
Yeah, no phones at the dinner table kind of thing, and I still hold that to a degree.
Oh yeah, for the most part at least.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm alone, then I don't hold that. But if I'm eating with
Well,
other people,
that's
That's
the
different.
difference though. If you're with people, then like yeah, like why would you be on
making
your
the most
phone?
fire YouTube video to watch me eat. Straight
Well,
up.
no, I don't know. I'm a mix of both. It depends really. Like if I want to watch a video, I'll like, or here's what I'll do. I have a video queued up while I'm like cooking or something like that, and I'm like, oh, I don't want to lose my train of thought in this video, I guess I'll keep it on. But if I don't have anything I'm watching whilst I'm cooking, I don't really use my phone while I'm eating.
Well, cooking, not cooking, but like
Well,
what
that's
do you
what
do when you eat? You just fucking stare at a wall?
Yeah.
You are insane. Actually, that's been established.
Well, I could show you my kitchen. It's there's no windows. It's just a small little kitchenette area, and it's surrounded by walls. And that's what I stare at.
Awesome.
But yeah, I don't know. It's weird with children nowadays, or any generation that's out of mine. I just see it as it's gonna make me sound old and everything. It's just they don't
care.
I don't know. Do I feel bad? Do I not? Because it's like I can't control it because I'm not a parent, and whatnot. So
Yeah, exactly right.
are we doomed to
Just-
make the same mistakes? I don't know.
All the time. Anyway, enough of the doomer talk. I broke my chair over the week.
Oh yeah, that was a thing that happened to you. I wish you were in the call so I could hear that.
God, it would have been so funny. Because like I was laying back and there was just snap and I fell on my ass.
I am already hearing the noises you would have made. You would be like, whoa, whoa, and then you were like, oh my ass,
I was
my
actually
ass.
like dead silent too. I was dead silent. Like
Yeah, because you were trying not to
I mean,
hold.
if I
You were
were in a
holding back the
call-
tears. You were holding back the tears.
if I were in a call, seriously though, my toes were kind of sore. 'Cause
You're
I
like,
would,
oof,
my
ouch,
foot
ouch,
smacked
ouch, my ass,
Shut up.
ouch, oof.
Like my foot like flung up and smacked the top of my desk, and so my toes were a little bit sore for a day or two. But
You don't
yeah,
need
I've been
them.
like going back and forth with the company that I bought the chair from, and hopefully be able to get a refund. I hope. I'm still waiting on that response.
Oh man.
Nice.
I broke my
But
chair
it
in
was a
call, and I think Kevin was the
$400
only
chair.
one
$400 chair. I haven't had it for a year. But
loves-
I would probably still buy the same chair because it's actually a damn good chair. Although
I would
get
I would
different
base
one
it off
without
of
a
their
mesh
customer
bottom.
support.
Their
if I
customer
would-
support is not good.
Yeah, then I wouldn't buy from them again. That's how
Fair
I
know.
deem it.
But like,
If I
just
have a
don't know
problem
any
with them
good,
and their
like-
customer support doesn't help me, or like resolve my issue,
Oh
in a
yeah, they're
recording,
good. Like they're helping me resolve my issue. It's just they take forever to fucking respond.
then they're not
And
that
some
good.
of that is 5 days a week, whatever.
5
but-
nights.
Also, yeah, 5 days and Fridays. But also,
left.
a lot of their responses. I gotta find it.
I mean, I wouldn't delve in too much into it. I just give me the short and sweet of it. Kind of just.
At least a lot of the emails were exchanged at like 1:32 in the morning.
No.
So they
Gotcha.
emailed me at like 2 in the morning. I'd email them at like whenever
So
I
time
remember
zone.
to.
So just time zones and like customer support
Yeah, it's
kind
time
of
zone
thing.
stuff. Yeah.
But anyways, how was your week, Nolan? I asked simply how his week was, and he's still
Uh,
alive.
My week was really boring. I had a lot of homework to do and a midterm, and now I've got more homework and another midterm this week. So
The life of a college
This-
student, never ends.
this is like my one day of solace for this week, and then
Yeah.
it's gonna be pain because then I immediately go to weekend and then another week with a lot of homework and a midterm. So at least my midterms this round are spread apart.
Yeah.
Last
guess
time
You
I
don't have to take it on.
True. Last time I had 3 midterms in 2 days. So
Oof.
yeah, no. This time I have 3 midterms spread over 3 weeks. So that's a lot better, I think.
Yeah. No, I guess
So
I've been there, and I definitely will be there in a couple of weeks because Jesus Christ, it's almost November in 2 days or 2 or 3 days, and
God.
my semester ends the 13th of December, so it's almost there. I try not to think about it, but I guess this leads into my first kind of talking point for this episode. Kind of like, what motivates you guys to just keep going, regardless of what you're doing? Like, I don't know, like with school and everything, life. Because sometimes it can get a bit difficult, with what you got going on.
I don't know. I just kind of roll through with stuff because I think it's what I'm supposed to do.
Fair enough. I don't know. I kind of just go with the motions. Like,
Yeah, I mean, I want to succeed and I want to do well and all that, especially like with how fucking life for everyone is just turning. You know,
Yeah.
you need to be like super successful in order to like
Mhm.
not be poor.
yeah.
So like, I'm like hoping to get to that point, but
Mhm.
at the same time, it's just like, what's the point if like even if I put in all that effort, it's like there's like the fucking 0.01% chance I'm actually gonna get that.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just like people can have their aspirations and dreams, and you know, respect them for that. But I don't know. It kind of just depends on what kind of life you want to lead. And
Yeah, true.
for some people, it's just get by, get by each day.
Oh, some fucking doomers. Holy shit.
I mean,
I paid money for the course. I'm gonna take it. It's fun.
yeah, but I don't know.
But that's
Wins-
not everyone.
Yeah, that's not everyone. Because, like, with me, it's just like, you know, it's just something you gotta do. I think that's kind of where I'm at in life, where it's just something I have to do. Because
Like,
I'm either
it's
told
like-
to, or I, you know, have
It's like-
invested
it's
so much time into it.
It's like taxes because I totally pay them.
Oh, yeah, you just have to do taxes.
Yeah, no, I do pay my taxes. I'm not scum of the earth.
You're saying people who pay
I don't
taxes are
make
scum of
money,
the...
so I don't pay taxes.
I wish I could get away with tax evasion.
I gotta be rich for that.
Yeah,
Maybe one day.
ask Reese how he does it.
How much money realistically would you guys want to have at one point? Like, what's the most amount of money you think you could just be happy with?
Enough that I have just a smidge of fuck off adult money.
Like, what's your point? In
I just
life?
want to be able to like live comfortably. I don't know what like,
I've
a
actually
figurative
calculated
number
it.
would be.
Mhm.
No, you go.
I simply did the math because he's fucking.
I actually have, yeah. For me personally, it'd be around where I have like an extra $1,000 to $2,000 just flat out
Just fuck
extra
off
a month that I can do whatever the fuck I want.
Mm-hmm.
That would be my happiest.
Yeah,
You got
just
it.
have enough that like, you know, you've got your
You got your
all
hobbies.
your bills, all your groceries, all that stuff. You've got enough for
Yeah,
savings.
enough where you can live, where you can like have enough money to just fuck around and do shit whatever you want
Yeah.
comfortably,
Yeah.
but still be able to pay off everything that you need to pay off as well,
Mhm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Like I don't
You know,
need to.
it's
I don't
the-
need to
it's
be
the
a
most,
multi gazillionaire. I just
yeah,
want money to like be
dare
able
I,
to
dare
do
I
what I
utter the
want.
most like terminally online disgusting shit ever.
Oh,
I
God,
want
he's
to be
doing
able
it
to
again.
see funny emote in Fortnite shop and then buy without thinking. Like
That's yeah.
10, $20 is like nothing. But then, you know, you have to
You know-
pay a big bill, you still have to think about it.
It might be the saddest thing I've ever heard, but he's onto something.
Yeah, like, you know, oh, there's a game on sale, it's like $25.
Yeah.
Sure, I'll buy it. I might not play it, but I'll buy it. It's $25, who cares? Like that
I mean,
kind of
I don't
money.
know, but then I start thinking about it, and I'm like, because then you just don't value anything anymore if you just like can buy things. Like, what's the intrinsic value? What's the actual
What?
worth of it?
Being
I don't
able
know.
to do what I
Well,
want. happily
Okay, but
without
Duran,
any
let,
issue.
let me ask you this: if you could just go out and buy a vinyl without having to worry about the cost, I think you'd be pretty happy.
But then it means nothing. That's the
No, it
thing.
doesn't.
No.
Eventually,
I
it
mean,
would lose all
that's how
meaning.
you feel. Yeah.
Yeah, eventually it'd
everyone will
lose
feel
all
like
meaning.
that.
Yeah, I know.
I think
You're just
'cause I
making
think
an
you're
investment.
thinking, you're focusing on like, oh, I have to like work for this money, and then this money is like.
Well, that's
that
how
I'm
I've been
spending on this
taught.
thing,
Yeah.
Right.
Mhm.
Right. And I think if you have enough money that you know, like 10, $20 is nothing, then just the like bar gets higher, right? So, oh, I'm going to
Mhm.
spend a few $100s, and then that's what you feel is well spent, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's perfectly
Like,
fine.
I don't think any of us are arguing with the fact that money is like not an issue. Like it's still to the point where you have to work to make all your money. It's just you're
Yeah.
comfortable enough to where you have money where you can spend on what you want without having to worry about cutting from something else.
Yeah, but again, I don't know. It just might be how I see money and how that thing works. I don't know. It's just eventually.
But like,
Your money, I'm gonna buy anything I want.
I don't think you should like worry or like the value goes away from something if you like can buy it without having to be like, well, I'm gonna buy and spend X amount of money and I don't have to worry about taking X amount of money out of like what I have to pay for groceries or something.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's not. You still worked to make that extra money so you
Yeah.
could spend it without having to worry about taking it away from something else, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's not like you're at the point where money isn't an issue. It's just at the
Yeah.
point where you can be comfortable and spend money when you want to without having it affecting everything else.
Yeah, and I don't know. It's just
Like I get what you mean. Don't get me wrong, but it's
Yeah.
just I don't entirely agree with it, especially considering it's like if
You
you're
have
one
the
who
money
made-
for it.
if you
Mhm.
made that extra money and like saved it up to the point where you have it and you like not worried about what else you have to spend on and you can buy whatever you want, that should be something that has value to you because you've worked for it still.
yeah, and that's
It's-
like the perfect example was, okay, I'm trying to upgrade to like a new computer, like buying new parts, and then eventually, I'll get enough money for that, and then you build it, and you're like, okay, now what? Like you
Yeah.
don't, I don't know, like you just don't feel anything. I don't know. That's just me. I just don't feel anything after that.
I
Like
mean,
the purchase is more so.
I do get it. It's
Mhm.
just
I think that when it comes down to it, it's not really how much it costs. It's just like the amount of fun or entertainment or whatever you can derive from it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, for a game, you don't pay for it at all. But if you, spend time with your friends and you have fun, there's something that's infinitely more valuable than money, to sound like a fucking cheesy ass movie quote.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I get it. Yeah. I get what you're saying. It's just, there's two sides of the coin here. And it's just, I don't know. Money is something that makes the world go round. But, it's definitely something that you either are fine with spending, or there's people, regardless of wealth or regardless of their net income, it's still something that they're uncomfortable with. And I think it's just something that, will always be like that, I guess.
that's not inherently a bad thing, right?
Mhm.
It's better to be like have a lot of money and still be like cautious about what you're
Yeah.
spending on, to have a lot of money and just be careless with it, right?
Yeah. I just,
Like-
I don't know. I just feel like, because money definitely does change people. I will absolutely admit that. Like, once you have money, you definitely do change your attitudes on some things. So I don't know. Maybe it's a fear of just making too much and losing that part of yourself. I don't know.
Fair enough.
I don't know. It's interesting.
Like,
But anyway.
I do understand it. It's just,
But
anyways, that was a bit of a doomer topic.
Yeah,
Do
that
you guys
was a bit
believe
of
in the Weasel timeline?
yeah, what's the weasel time? I've never
Yeah,
heard
what
of
the
this
fuck
before.
is that?
Yeah.
For context, I brought this up like 2 days ago and fucking had everyone jaw on the floor. So like you know how like CERN has a large hadron collider, right? A large
Oh, yeah.
hadron collider.
Yeah.
There's like sometimes there will like be birds or something that fly in and get fucking murked, right?
Yeah.
There's this theory that before Trump became president and all that, a weasel climbed in, and whatever happened, that weasel interacted with a large hadron collider when it was running, and somehow split us off into a different timeline in which everything has gone wrong consistently since.
Wait, is this the weasel that caused Harambe's death?
Maybe. I don't know, but
Wait,
the whole
wait.
the whole thing is that the weasel climbed in the Large Hadron Collider and caused something and caused us to split into a different timeline where some things like, and people like blame like Trump being elected on the fucking on this happening and like everything going wrong and COVID
Okay.
and wars.
Technically, yeah, the first beam that was circulated through the collider was on the 10th of September of 2008. So, anytime between then and 2016, there was a weasel.
Yeah.
Did it cause the death
So-
of Harambe?
When did this happen?
Harambe was what,
2016.
2016?
Harambe was before
May
2016.
28th, 2016.
Because I think I've heard of a different.
Wait, no, it is. It is because Weasel fucking up the Large Hadron Collider in April 2016, shifting into the wrong timeline.
And then Harambe died when? May?
The next month.
May 2016, yeah.
Yeah, no,
'Cause
I.
everyone blamed like all of the events going up to him now on Harambe's death, but if the Weasel in the Hadron Collider
The
caused
Weasel
it-
is the catalyst.
Yeah. So, like, what do you think?
You know what?
Fucking weasels.
There's enough shit going on that's bad and that just happens randomly.
So
Fuck it,
blame
I don't
on
care.
that.
Yeah, let's just blame it on that. Yeah,
Yeah, no, like this is
we can make a religion out of
surprising
this.
to me.
True.
Good.
True. This is the worst timeline.
God, I wonder what the Weasel timeline would have looked like if he didn't get in that collider. What if
Yeah,
the-
it's in April 2016. A Weasel chewed into one of the electrical transformers of the Large Hadron Collider, causing a short circuit and shutting the machine down. and this website that's totally legit says what the fake news won't tell you is that the Weasel incident caused a rift throughout the multiverse.
Yeah, you guys-
The walls that separate each reality haven't been right ever since. Some people say this is when we entered what they call the darkest timeline. I call it the Weasel timeline.
Do you guys?
Yeah, it's actually the Weasel
do
timeline.
you guys
yeah.
believe in the multiverse, arachnoid, humanoid, Spider Verse thing?
I
guess-
think it's more likely than not. Like,
I think at the very least we are not the only sentient species in the universe.
Well, no, that's not what I'm asking. I'm asking.
no,
Well, but
multiverse and universe are very different things,
Yeah.
dude.
Mhm.
Yes, I know, but I'm saying like at the very least we are not the only sentient species.
So
And-
at the
like-
so at the very least, you believe in something different. Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like multiverse, yeah, sure, that's possible.
I think it's more likely than it is unlikely. Probably.
I like to think that there is, but I also don't like to dwell on it because when you start dwelling on it, you're just like, oh well, what is alternate Duran? You know, how's he
Cosmic
living?
horror looking ass, fucking
Yeah, he's
unfathomable being.
he's outside your door.
He's outside my door. I don't know. Like it's neat to think about like during a shower thought, but I would never ponder about it for much longer because it's an easy slippery slope to get down because you're like
But
If-
it's also just one of those things that's not worth worrying about. Like
exactly that's what I'm trying to get at because
at the end of the day, sure, the idea of it is cool, and like being like, what if there's like for every decision you make, there's a different timeline that sprouts off or a different multiverse. Like,
Yeah.
sure, it's cool, but what's it gonna matter to you? Nothing's gonna change to you
yeah.
unless you believe in the idea that, like, say, like something goes catastrophically one and wrong timeline, your consciousness just goes to another. But like,
Oh,
that's
yeah,
the
I
only
forgot
thought I
that's
have
good.
of that.
Yeah. I don't know. It's interesting to me, but again, I would never dwell on it. But
No, yeah, like there's so much else for us to worry about. Why worry about the one thing that you're never gonna figure out, especially in this lifetime?
yeah, or it's
Like
completely
they
out of
might
your control.
5,000 years down the road, but not right now.
Yeah. Right now, we got to figure out if pigs actually can fly.
Reminds me of that one thing where it was like, you know how like when you die, they say like your life flashes before your eyes,
Yeah.
and this is like essentially like a dream, right? But
Mhm.
in dreams, time moves differently than in real life.
Yeah. Yeah.
So essentially, you're just reliving your whole life again. So it's
Oh.
like, what if you're just like constantly stuck in a cycle of like every time you die, you're just relive your life over and over and over again. It's like you could already be dead.
Honestly, that's not a horrible. Depending on what kind of life you had, it's not horrible.
I mean, yeah, no, I know, but like it's like you don't know it though. It's like
Oh,
Fucking
yeah.
It's- it's like you die and you just
Speak for
immediately
your
start
fucking self.
reliving it again from your childhood. And that's like
Well, fuck you.
And that's
I'd
why
have to
you
relive breaking my chair a second time.
you'd have to
Oh, wait,
relive
no,
me
hold on.
tripping you in the hallway.
I'd have to
Now you
relive
get
eating a
it.
moldy pineapple.
Tripping me in the hallway. No, that's my worst.
Yeah, that
memory,
pineapple's
dude.
going right back down that throat.
It's going right back.
No.
But yeah, like
How many times have we talked about this before, man? What the fuck?
Deja
don't
vu.
know.
I have been in this.
yeah, no,
place
like
before.
that's
broken my
where like
chair.
a deja vu moment comes from, right? It's like you've actually like fully lived the life before, but you
Okay.
don't
What if
realize.
Duran was the weasel in a past life?
But you know what's horrifying? I don't know if this is just my memory going bad or, I'm going insane. But there have been way too many moments recently that I was just like, I've had this conversation. I've been here before. And it's just like,
No, same. I get
Yeah.
that. I get that all the time.
like,
The even worse part is
all
when
the
you
time.
predict what's gonna happen next, and you're like, oh shit.
yeah, that's the worst thing. Because, like, I don't get enough sleep to have any REM, like dreams or anything. So I either gaslight myself into thinking I'm like, oh, I've had this conversation in my dream. That's why, it's familiar to me, or I thought of this. It's not reality, kind of thing. But
Yeah,
no,
exactly.
there have been too many times to count that I've had an exact conversation with someone, whether it be you guys or someone at the community or at the college, where I'm just like, I fucking talked to this person about this thing. I've been here before doing the same thing.
Exactly.
Deja vu hits hard.
I don't know if it's
Yeah.
deja vu or just me having a very scheduled life, because that's also probably a factor.
The feeling of having done something before it.
Yeah, because like I don't know, I like to live a life with scheduled things, especially when it comes to work and school and whatnot.
You're
Anything
fucking
else?
weak. I mean, no,
Anything else I don't usually schedule out, but I think that's just how my mind works. So I don't know. I don't know if it's deja vu or just I live a scheduled life. I don't know if I can explain that, but it's interesting to say the least.
It's probably a little bit of both, and you're probably overthinking it a little bit, which
Oh, yeah, that's
again
my-
is probably like the main reason for
Mhm.
any fucking shit. But
Yeah. But
overall, another kind of mind thing like that always freaks me out is when you're like driving and then you kind of zone out, and then all of a sudden you're just at your place of destination and don't remember how you got there.
oh yeah, like the autopilot kind of thing.
Yeah,
That's like
just on
every day.
autopilot.
Yeah, that's every day
Just
for
on
me.
autopilot, like, wait a minute. I was just driving at like 80 miles on the highway, and I'm like, what the fuck happened? I don't remember that.
Yeah, this happened.
I get like little micro blanks, not like Nolan described, but more like I don't remember taking the turn I just did.
Like I heavily dissociate a lot, and it's probably for my detriment. I go.
Definitely.
It definitely is because I went to class one day. I showed up early because I usually always do, and my professor was there early, surprisingly, and he like looks at me. He's like, "You look a bit lost." I was like, "What's up?" I'm like, "Where the hell am I?" I straight up told him like, "Where the hell am I?" I was like, "How the hell did I get here?" And he's like, I don't know. You took the stairs. Hopefully you drove here. It's pretty cold." And I'm like, "No, like." How the fuck did I get here? Like, where the fuck am I? Kind of thing. And
am I?
and he's like, I hope you're here for market research 438. And I'm like, what day is it today? He's like, it's Wednesday. I'm like, oh, I guess it is market research day. And then I sat down in my chair and thought nothing of it.
And he's like fucking calling the cops.
Yeah. He's just like, well,
I mean, for me, I don't get it too much because usually I'm like following along, or I'm usually like dialed in, like whatever music I'm listening to,
yeah.
and it kind of keeps me focused in general. But there have been a couple times where I've just been like kind of zoning out, and then all of a sudden I'm like drive like down an entire like fucking road, and I'm like look like kind of clue back in. I'm like, wait a minute, how did I get here?
Yeah. No, that happens to me a lot when I'm driving back home. Like, it's a 45-minute drive, and I'm just like, oh, shit. I guess 45 minutes flew by. So,
It's always, and that's always kind of like, for me. But,
yeah.
oh well.
Mm.
Haven't killed anyone, so
Yeah, I know. I haven't committed a vehicular tragedy yet, so I guess I'm doing something right. Maybe my autopilot brain is doing something right. But it's always interesting about how, I don't know, like the brain can either shut off a thing. I don't know how to explain it. I'm not a psychologist. But you guys like video games, right?
I
Guys-
love video games, dude.
You guys
I
like
love video games.
how do you guys feel about video game development as a whole? As like
Makes
They need to unionize.
okay, I'm talking about that, but I'm like talking about
I would love to get into it, but I'd probably never be able to stick with it.
Mhm.
And so
Games are fucking terrible nowadays.
I guess it's not even just video games. I guess
They're fucking awful.
I have a discussion point here. That's what I'm trying to get at. When it comes to like video games or any project as a whole, do you guys think having open transparency and or like a roadmap for projects hurts them in the long run? Do you think it hurts the project, or do you think it just?
I think it's a blessing and a curse
Mhm.
because it gives insight, and it's like having transparency with like your audience overall is a good thing, I'd say,
Mhm.
because like you're not like hiding things and making things like different from what people think.
Yeah.
But when you have things like a roadmap or like you promise things and like it builds up hype, and
It sets
you're
an
not always
expectation
you're
as
not
well.
always gonna it sets expectations. You're not always gonna live up to them, right?
Mhm.
And what happens? It's like, hey, like we were promised this, and we got those, but they're all like gimped versions of them. So now it's awful.
Yeah.
Off cuff Overwatch.
Yeah,
I guess like the biggest
I think-
example-
like the Overwatch 2 PvE thing is a perfect example of it. We were promised it,
Oh, I'm so
They're-
sad.
and they were like, yeah, we're gonna put out PvP first, and then work on PvE in the background, and it'll come out eventually. And then all of a sudden they're like, yeah, we're not giving it to you.
Mhm.
And they said that they were going to give the Overwatch 1 purchasers a discount on the PvE, and then they never did, whether it was the good stuff or the bad stuff.
Yeah, I guess the reason why I'm bringing it up is because I've been getting back into Star Citizen. Otis is right there with me, and I guess Simply is now. God rest his soul.
Poor Simply.
Um,
Poor Simply. It was
it's-
fucking
it's-
awful.
Yeah,
it's just so.
But
I mean,
Please,
it's
Simply,
not
you need
like-
to believe us. It was so much better before you bought the game.
It's not
It-
like every single time I've tried to join you guys, it crash or if it What's
Oh
going
my
on?
god.
it's interesting because like with Star Citizen, make fun of it all you want. I will actively make fun of the game. I'm right there with you.
As will I.
It's been in development for, God, it's almost going to be 10 years because it's 2014 when the project started.
Yup.
And I feel like in that case, the fucking transparency has absolutely ruined it for a lot of people. And it's definitely ruined the development a bit as well. Because, you know, with that, they have a giant roadmap and they keep adding to it, which is scope creep, but that's another discussion.
Ugh, don't tell me about Scrap Creep. Holy shit.
They like they have all of these things that they plan, and then, you know, the technology isn't there, or, you know, the projects. That's the thing. When you set a roadmap or having, you know, expectations like a timeline or open transparency, you open yourself up to a lot more criticism because
yeah. It's especially if like even if things are like reasonable, like say like you have a roadmap or something, but say like somehow your entire like game got deleted and you have to restart from scratch.
hmm
Like even if it's like a genuine like reason why it happened and it wasn't just your negligence,
yeah,
you're still accidentally lied to the consumer, and they're
Yeah.
at the point where they're like, well, okay, well, you promised this, you didn't deliver, so that's
Mhm.
on you.
yeah. Like because with timelines and roadmaps, you create deadlines. You might not set them in stone, but you create deadlines. People start formulating ideas. It's like, oh, okay, it shouldn't take this long to develop XY system. It shouldn't take long to develop this project that you're doing. People don't understand development times. People don't understand that, you know, sometimes a project can, you know, fall behind. Sometimes people leave a project. I feel like if I were a developer, if I were of any project, I guess my projects in the past that I've done, I don't have transparency. Mine's pretty closed shut. Like the product either comes out or it doesn't. That's normally how I operate. And it's to protect my ass, and it's also to, I guess, not let anyone down. Because if you open up a project, you get people hyped up for it. You said it yourself. So
100%.
if you just
It's like, could you imagine if like Squadron 46 and Star Citizen comes out and it's a complete flop?
yeah, exactly. Like people have
Like-
been waiting a decade for this, and it flops. Like,
Well, like
people are-
look at the fucking like reception on Cyberpunk 2077 when it launched and was awful.
yeah,
Like sure, the game itself was like a good game, but like it was a buggy mess that fucking 80% of people couldn't play.
mm-hmm.
Right.
So-
and like they had like kept delaying the game and delaying it more and more, and it got to the point where like
stockholders just said release it.
well, not even so much that, but it like was getting to the point where it's like people were only allowed to like play like PC review copies and only allowed to use
Mhm.
like their footage for reviews and stuff. So
Mhm.
it was like an entire promise that was built on. It was a promise that was built on a lie.
Yeah,
And they got bit in the ass for it, which
Mhm.
sucks, right?
yeah.
And yeah,
I think, I don't know, this is just my idea of it. I think if you're going to work on something, you either, you release it or you don't. And you don't owe the community transparency on it. I know that's going to make me sound bad.
no, I agree with you. Like
Like the
Like-
consumer doesn't have to know if a project is going to happen or not.
they don't have to know everything. I would say like it's
Yeah.
a good idea to have some like transparency and stuff, but like you don't need transparency on everything, right?
Yeah.
I would probably set like it should be done by this day, and then it got delayed, and then that's the end of my transparency.
Yeah. I think the most important thing, and I think this is what makes a good company, this is the thing that decides if a company is good or not, is once a product releases, if it's a shit show or if it's a good thing, how the company responds to that is how you should value that company as, worthy of, spending your money, worthy of being a part of your consumer mindset. Take, for example, Blizzard. I'm going to poke fun at Blizzard any chance I get. The shit show that Overwatch 2 that happened. And they're like, hey, people couldn't access their accounts. People couldn't, access the things that they bought or whatever. Stuff getting delayed. Their response and saying, oh, well, we'll fix it eventually, kind of just patchwork it. And people, deservedly so, said, we're not going to stand for it. We're going to say fuck Overwatch 2, fuck Blizzard as a whole. I think that approach definitely decides, oh, well, they obviously don't care about the consumer. CD Projekt Red, in their, response for the state of Cyberpunk was, we fucked up, we're going to fix it. While yes, you can criticize them for how the game launched, I think the biggest thing to take away is how a company responds. Like, it's
I would agree with that in general. I'd say.
it's one thing to release a bad product, but it's another thing to own up to that product and try to fix it and remedy it. I think that's what defines a company, and that, because no one's going to release a perfect product regardless of what company you are, regardless of your size. But
I still don't agree with the fucking practice has been put into play now is release a buggy mess.
oh no, absolutely, I'm not defending it. Yeah, I'm not defending it.
Like I think it's a good thing if like you release like a full game and can like make patch fixes or balance weapons or shit. Like I think that's a good thing, but it's not an excuse to release a buggy mess.
Yeah,
Like that's half finished and then finish the game 2 years later.
yeah.
Like-
I'd say everyone's
Like
valid.
with
earned
the
criticism.
whole Cyberpunk thing, right? Like sure, like now, great game, people are liking it. DLC is supposed to be really, really good.
But you can't forget how it launched.
That doesn't forgive the fact that CD Projekt Red basically lied to everyone about reviews and had an awful launch. Like, sure, they fixed it, but that doesn't. The fact that it's fixed now doesn't excuse what it was launched as.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's no company. You can polish a turd as much as you want, but it's at the end of the day, it's still going to be a turd. But
yeah.
If I guess, and you'll have to remember that turd, but if a company responds to that turd and says, hey, we fucked up, here's how we're going to fix it, or here's what we can do for the time being, I think that holds a little bit more weight. But again, you can't forget how a product launched. Like, let's say, let's get out of the realm of video games. Let's say if like PepsiCo releases a new version of Pepsi, they make Pepsi,
and there's just no carbonation at all.
Yeah, it's like Pepsi Nitro. That's what they call it.
Yeah, I've already had that. They have that. That's a real thing.
Fine. Pepsi Ginger Ale. And it tastes like absolute dog water. And they're like hyping up. It's like, oh, it's a new soda. I don't drink soda, so I don't know.
See, you were like kind of right with your Pepsi Nitro thing. Like, I'm gonna be completely honest because I've bought it. There was a store that, I mean, I'm sure a large part of the fucking expense part is that it was imported, but there was like 4 cans of it in a thing. And it cost me like almost $30. And I was just like, it's a novelty thing. I want to try it. Yeah. But like, the problem is for me at least, is when I drink pop, part of the appeal is like the big carbonation from the CO2. But when it's nitrous, the bubbles are really smaller and almost taste flat. And at that point, it's like, why did I just waste $30 on flat pop?
It's just flat pop at that point.
It's for the novelty of it and trying it, right? Which is like kind of fun. But
is that still around? Are they still selling that?
Pepsi Nitro's still around. It's just not usually a Canada thing. But it's the same sort of point, right? Yeah. It's just like not exactly ideal.
Huh, yeah, Pepsi Nitro. I guess. Oh, there's a certain way to drink it as well.
Yeah, you're supposed to like open it and completely just dunk it in like a glass of ice.
But... Yeah, it's chill can, pour hard, and admire and enjoy.
Yeah, it still wasn't great when I did that. But at the end of the day, it's not the perfect example because I still did enjoy it. It was fun to try. Yeah. But it was also just kind of like, why did I spend $30 on this? And this is kind of a rip, but it is what it is.
I guess what's been the worst thing that you guys have bought, and if like you've been hyped up for it, like you've heard word of mouth of people saying it's like, oh, this is like really good and everything, and then you just buy it and you're just like, I just don't jive with it, whether it be like a video game, music, book, food, I don't know, it could be anything. So I can think of one perfect example.
What would it be?
I think it'd be, it's a Nintendo game. It's a little indie game. Splatoon. I hate Splatoon. Everyone around me, Otis is like, oh, Splatoon's so much fun, and I see like people having fun with it, and I'm like, oh, this looks kind of neat. I'll fuck around and buy it. I absolutely hated the game. I hate the controls. I hate the art style. I hate the way the game plays. I hate the online. I don't like anything about it. And I'm like, why was it that when I see people playing it or like talking about it, I jive with it, but when I put my hands on it, I fucking hate it. It's a bastard.
Yeah, it's just one of those things.
Yeah, like why can't I enjoy it as much?
Like
as
to
people
watch,
do?
hate to play.
Yeah. So I don't know. That's been one of the things that's.
See, I don't know. If I had to regret one thing I did buy, it was buying PS4 Cyberpunk. I spent fucking $80 on that day one. Like, this was like mid-COVID.
I'm glad that they canceled the pre-order when I pre-ordered it. Because I pre-ordered it for Xbox One, and then they delayed it. to November, and then they canceled the pre-order, and I just never bought it again. And I'm so glad that I did. 'Cause
You know,
holy shit, that
fucking
boss
me
is
and
terrible.
me and my brother like lined up like the day it released, like at the store mid COVID. So we like had to
Oh my
fucking line up
God.
outside when there was like 6 people allowed in the store. And,
Holy
like,
shit.
I still have
I,
it, and I could still load up like a fucking day one PS4 copy that was awful. But, so like it's kind of funny now, but I don't know like what else I could say for certain things because like
Yeah.
a lot of the time when I buy something, it's because I've already tried it.
Yeah.
Or like,
I have one.
hmm
yeah,
The Wild.
Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, I people playing it looks cool, fun. Me playing it, I fucking despise that game, man.
I think that's why I haven't got Tears of the Kingdom. Because I was also in the camp of where I just didn't enjoy Breath of the Wild until I had a multiplayer mod.
I can see it with the multiplayer. I couldn't even see it with the multiplayer. I just don't like it.
Shh, what? No, no mods here. No, no, Nintendo.
Oh,
No,
oh,
no,
yeah,
no,
yeah,
no,
that's
no,
right.
no, no,
Big
not
old
at all.
Nintendo coming after little old us.
They're
Big
coming for
brother
your
coming
for your
fucking
ass
breathing down your neck.
cheeks.
We're not Point Crow, so we're fine. We don't look like him.
Man, poor bro.
Foul.
But yeah, no, I don't like. A lot of it is marketing. I love marketing. It's my degree, so I have to say that. But I don't know. Splatoon is definitely just one of those things that I just fucking hated, and it's one of those that one of those things that I wish I never spent $60 on.
Yeah, fair enough.
What's another thing that I can think of? Because I can only really think of video games. That's what I spend most of my money on. Yeah, probably just Splatoon. I fucking hate that game. Because, like, with the game, even if it's, like, shit, I could still find some enjoyment out of it. Maybe either talking shit about it or, you know, streaming it or, like, showing it to my friends and whatnot and saying, like, hey, look at this bad game.
See, you know what?
With Splatoon, I had nothing. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do that because it was just genuinely not fun for me to, like, interact with.
Pain. For me, a lot of it was a lot of it is stuff like I didn't regret at the time, but I look back and I'm like, why did I spend that much money on stuff?
Mm-hmm.
Like, do you know what like kendamas are? Like the little like
Yes.
wooden
Yeah.
cup and ball and cup thing.
Ball on
Yeah, yeah.
string.
I fucking had like fucking 20 of them and spent like hundreds of dollars on them, and I just don't touch them anymore.
I remember those days. I wanted one of those so bad because you had one, Nolan.
I was cool in middle school, and I started all
I
the
know.
trends.
That's why I wanted one.
And then we just kind of fucked off in high school and didn't really care anymore.
How
You gotta
expensive
stick with
can
it, though.
these things get? Holy shit.
Very.
Well, okay, like, I'm looking at them. I have, like, the
Okay,
Hispanic
have-
version
have-
of the kendama, which,
Yeah.
what was it called? Capirucho, I think is what
Thank
it
you,
is.
Simply.
Oh yeah, my bad.
But
Actually,
it's-
no, fuck you.
It's not the,
Simply,
it's
you
not
put
the,
that right next to your mic. There was no fucking apology.
it's
needed.
not
I
the
didn't even get
Japanese
that over
version of
my
it. It's
stupid
the
bitch.
ball cup version. I don't know if that's if it's a different thing at that point.
Yeah, but the thing is like I like was that guy who was like, hey, I want like the super like uber large one that was like $120. It's like I look back on, I'm like, it was really fun at the time, and I like
Yeah.
made a lot of friends through just fucking around and that shit. But it was like,
Mhm.
I look back, I'm like, why?
Yeah. Oh,
That was very stupid of me in the long run. And another thing was the fucking fidget spinners as well.
You got super into them?
I wasn't into them as
Had
much,
one.
but I would like fuck around with them and like try and do tricks and shit.
Mm-hmm.
'Cause I have like my hand-eye coordination is like one thing I'm like really proud of,
Yeah.
but it's like it got to the point where I'm like, yeah, okay, I have the one and it's fun to play with, but I'm like bored of it now.
Yeah.
And
I
just like,
I remember
never,
when we went to. I got a little bit of side story relating to fidget spinners. I remember we went to Ottawa on a school trip,
Yeah.
and there was a store, and they sold fidget spinners, and so I went in and I bought one, like the good little school child boy I am.
Yeah, not like.
And then I later found out that two of our classmates fucking stole a bunch of them from the store, like while I was in there.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
They also because we were in Montreal, right? And
Yeah.
That was in Montreal,
Like-
I believe. Yeah.
Yeah, because we had just eaten at that steak restaurant.
Was that before or after?
It was after because after we had the free time.
I can
Anyways.
imagine Otis leaving the steak shop and being like a little schoolboy. He's like, my tummy is full of steak. I will now reward myself with little fidget spinner from gift shop. He's walking up like a little giddy school child.
Fucking shut up.
But like
He's
the,
like,
the next day we went to the big main street, whatever. I don't remember what name it was, but like, you have to realize the one thing: a lot of like French Canadians hate the rest of Canada, just like we all hate French Canadians,
Mm-hmm.
and it's to the point where like
I think I know where this is going.
they've had. Like in the past, there was a vote in Quebec to see if like Quebec would secede from Canada and become like its own like governing body.
Yeah.
And the vote for that only lost by like it was like 51 to stay as part of Canada to 49 to like separate from Canada.
Oh.
And it's to the point where there's like the vocal minority now that still has like tries to like okay. My mic's being stupid.
I was
There's-
wondering if it was me or if it was you.
Yeah, I was wondering if it was me. Yeah.
Oh, bye, Nolan.
Oh.
Hello,
Hi, Nolan.
Evelyn.
It's so good.
Is he back?
Good.
Anyway, yeah, weren't
But there's
there
like,
people who were protesting and then
Oh
those
yes,
two guys
yes,
joined
yes.
in on it?
No, there was giant protest down the street. They fucking dragged the two guys that stole the fidget spinners into the protest. They start screaming and yelling and shit, and it was just a wild experience to see.
That sounds awesome.
I'm surprised that those two like actually went on that trip.
Yeah, I know, right?
For what they like got around, like what they did in high school or middle school or whatever the fuck we went.
Yeah,
Middle school.
fair enough.
Like I'm
yeah.
surprised that they
so
like.
you guys got to go like
This was like a school trip.
yeah, you guys went to like a completely like I guess how far away is Montreal
like
from?
across Canada.
Yeah, it was like the other side of the country.
Yeah, the biggest trip that I took in like middle school, high school was like middle school was like 2 hours away. No, yeah, like 2 hours away. And then high school was like another like 2 or 3 hours away. Like we were not going. Okay, I guess there were trips that you could go to. Like there was the DC trip. There was if you were in band, you'd go to like California or Florida for Disneyland.
That's
and
what
stuff like that.
you guys did. Oh wait, did you like
I
leave
didn't-
band
I
before
wasn't
you
in
went?
band.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Reese.
no, that was the
Reese
grade.
Reese was in band, and they went
Is
to.
that the grade 10?
Yeah, it was when you were in grade 10. Pretty sure.
Yeah, I stopped after grade 9.
Yeah, they went to Disney and that, but like for us, it was a trip to Ottawa, Montreal, and I think from Calgary to Ottawa, it's about a 5-hour flight.
Mm-hmm.
So
No
it's.
shot. No shot I was on a flight for 5 hours.
I'm pretty sure.
Wait, did you guys fly out or did you guys drive there to the
Dude, if
Montreal?
we drove, I would.
If we drove, it would have been like a fucking 5-day drive. Not
Oh,
5 days,
yeah.
but it would have been like a 2-day drive with like fucking.
I guess yeah, the logistics
with like
of it.
with like
fucking
25
Google
students
yeah,
and like
with
4
25
teachers.
students, yeah.
It's a 34-hour drive to Ottawa,
Jesus.
and
Your
that
guys
is
is-
going through the border into North Dakota, into Minnesota, into Wisconsin, into Michigan, and then back through to Canada. The
That's-
flight
that's wild.
is 8 hours? Nuh-uh. My ass.
It's an
Fucking
8-hour
hearts out
flight,
to your
no.
teachers, Jesus Christ, going cross
Well, that's
country with
that's
children.
a connecting flight.
Yeah, it
Whereas like
with
the
like
fastest-
like at its shortest that I've been seeing, because we didn't have a connection when we flew, but like At its shortest with a connection is like 6 hours. So it was
You
like
guys, I'm assuming, how long you guys were there for? Like a week, a couple of days?
probably
It was
like
a week, I
10.
think.
It was like 10 days.
So this was like for class or just like?
This is just a school trip that we paid for. It was meant to be like a kind of like social studies, like history type trip.
Oh, okay.
we-
So it's your guys' DC trip. Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
pretty.
I'm equating. it now.
I'm assuming.
Okay, so like
'Cause
DC, okay, so
we-
DC, our DC trips were like the big culmination for schools. It's like you fund your own trip and everything, like
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's
Okay.
that's what it was.
We had to
Like,
pay for our own way.
Okay,
And
I was gonna
for-
say I
for-
thought your fucking school was dishing out like children
no,
going to
no,
to
no.
Montreal. I was gonna
No.
say Jesus Christ, what the fuck?
No, but it was like we like traveled there and then we went because Ottawa is Canada's capital. Ottawa's DC
okay.
for Canada.
So yeah, DC.
And we
yeah.
went and visited like Parliament and like war memorials and museums and
Okay, so yeah, it is the DC trip. Okay.
yeah,
Because
it's-
DC trip for at least in my class was like American was 8th grade, so I'm assuming.
yeah,
Yeah, we were in 8th grade.
That's when we went. Yeah,
Okay.
and then we also had our marine bio trip, which was fun. That was only like a 2-hour flight though.
That was also kind of crazy.
Yeah, I never went to the DC trip mostly because it was fucking expensive, and I didn't quite like the idea of going on a trip because again, you're eighth grade, so
Yeah,
not very old, and I'm like I don't like the idea of just going on a trip cross country with someone that isn't my parents. So I just didn't really show any interest in it, so it just didn't happen.
fair enough.
Simply, did your
I was like,
backwater
oh, yeah,
school
so
ever
you-
do any?
Simply's muted.
Okay, I was gonna say his backwater school.
Yeah,
did
he's
anything
probably
like
smoking
that?
a bowl or something.
And then in high school, we went to Houston, me and Reese.
That was for
So
NASA.
sad
Right?
I didn't fucking.
That was the year before Otis joined robotics, and then went to Houston.
You guys-
We
Yeah, I
won
joined
our-
robotics. I
We
put in
won
like
our.
so many hours into robotics, and then COVID hit. It was awful.
Was your guys' robotics thing Vex? Because we had Vex robotics.
We were FRC, which is a different thing.
Okay, because our high school was Vex for robotics. I did a bit of robotics. I was never considered a primary member. I was more just there as a person who showed up occasionally and would help.
As a guy.
Yeah, as a guy. But I did get to do like filming for them, which is cool. Like not competition wise, just like interior filming, like for recruitment videos and whatnot to get people joining a robotics team because it was very small. The school did not do a great job at advertising it. I don't know if it was the same for you guys, but
It was pretty large for us. We probably had like fucking 20 people.
yeah, ours was small.
I mean, the main core was like a good like 5 to 8 of us at
Yeah.
most.
Because I think our
Dude,
robotics
I-
team was like 5 to 10 people at most.
Yeah, like dead of winter, I would stay until 9 p.m. at the school. I'd come in on weekends,
Yeah.
and then COVID hit, and then that was that.
See,
I guess-
I was that. I wasn't able to do that as much the year you joined Otis because I was at a job at that point.
Right, you did work.
I guess how social were you guys
Or
in high school?
did
like
I? No,
involved?
not that first year because you joined in 11 is when we started with you, and then COVID hit and shut down our season early, and then we continued. I wasn't able to do as much in grade 12 because that's when I had a job, but
But it's
Yeah.
not like we really did much in grade 12 anyway.
hey, we drifted around the gym.
We did. That was fun.
I guess
Julian
how-
showed up.
How active were you guys in
Fucked up
like
one of the motors, I think.
extracurricular kind of thing in school? I know
That
no
was
one
like
was
the
in
only
baseball.
extracurricular I did.
I was I was more involved in stuff in middle school than I was in high school.
Mm-hmm.
Because like in middle school, I played like every sport.
I went
in-
through FFA from start to finish.
Yeah, I did like every sport and stuff. And then in high school, it was like just volleyball, robotics, and badminton.
Yeah.
Really. and even badminton was kind of a side thing that I just did because I could. My school got rid of their baseball team, so I couldn't play baseball for my own high school.
Gotcha.
I had to go play for a different school, and I was great. I'm
Mr. Toot Your Own Horn.
I'm in the newspaper for like how I did because I was starting pitcher of our like championship game.
Oh, nice.
I like did really well, and then like got a lot of hits as well on my own.
Yeah, I did FFA through all 4 years of high school, and was incredibly active in it. I would have regional for the we have an FFA tournament.
Mhm.
It's questionnaire thing about different plants, farms, stuff like that. Very, very agricultural.
Yeah, we had FFA in high school. I
Yeah,
called them losers.
I would have went to the regional competition for it, but sick. Didn't go, and my spot was lost this.
Oh. Ouch.
That's rough.
Yeah, in high school, I wasn't very active. I look back at it, and it's very sad how my mindset in high school. I had a very odd relationship with it. I was just like, well, if people aren't going to talk to me, I'm not going to talk to them, kind of thing. And I guess I still hold this to a certain degree. I just didn't do a whole lot in high school. I was kind of just going through the motions. I'm like, well, I'm here for, you're here for a degree. I'm just going to do that.
Oh, dude, I so did that.
Like,
I so should have. I so did not.
it made it easier because, like, you didn't have to interact with anyone. People kind of just let you do your own thing. And I don't know. I guess it's my coping mechanism. I'm just like, oh, people don't talk to me. I won't talk to them. It makes it easier. I can just get through my days easier. And then senior year happened, and I was just like, maybe I should get involved a bit. I was always in like digital media and doing like, I started digital media in like sophomore year, and I was like, oh, this is really cool. I can just sit at a computer all day and edit a video or like work on art and whatnot. And then my teacher was just like, you should join, digital broadcast journalism and like newspaper stuff like that. I think you'd enjoy it. And I didn't think much of it, and then I did it, and I was like, holy shit, I love this. Like, you get to collaborate with other people who enjoy production.
Yeah.
And I was like, God damn it, maybe I should have done that more. Because I did end up going to, not regionals, I guess. Yeah, it was like a state competition, yeah, and I ended up getting like 3rd and 5th place in some spots, and I was like, it's not so much the place that I got, like, the award. I was like, it's just the fact that you
friends you made along the way.
It's not even that, because I didn't make any friends. I didn't make any friends. I don't talk to anyone from those classes. I think it was just the experience of being a part of something.
You just had fun doing it, which is the important part.
It wasn't even like so much the fun that I enjoyed. It was like being a part of something, being a part of a group, I guess. I don't know, having a place where you could enjoy
the community
something.
aspect of it.
Yeah. Because like looking back at it now, I still wouldn't enjoy the people. Like, I don't know. It's weird to say. I enjoy the idea of having a social setting where people are interested in the same thing, but I would never go out of my way to interact with those people, if that makes sense. I don't think it makes sense. It probably doesn't make sense.
No, I think I kind of understand it. I just wouldn't do it.
Mm-hmm.
That would be how I...
Yeah. Like, I have the opportunity to socialize in a community where people have the same interest, but I still wouldn't socialize, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I would definitely talk.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I get it. Like, part of it's just wanting to do what you want to do. Like, there's nothing wrong with that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I like being able to just do whatever with my groups, and like being with friends, obviously. Like,
yeah,
the times I spent in robotics with like the people who like actually cared and were there for the right reasons, everything.
Yeah,
some of the most fun I've ever had in high school.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I had fun in things like volleyball and all that as well.
Yeah.
But for the most part, where I had the most fun was in robotics because like Otis was saying, there'd be times where we're working on a robot and all of a sudden I'm there till fucking 10 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
And we're just all like testing the robot and making sure shit works, shooting the shit. All of a sudden, like we're like someone went and grabbed pizza and brought it back, and then we're just like having a good time. It was some of the best fun I've had in high school.
I would agree. Whenever I was doing the FFA stuff, how it was just a bunch of us talking about. Oh god, it was going to sound worse, but like instead of robots, it was plants.
I mean, I won't diss it. You enjoyed it.
No, like,
So
Plants, farm life.
you do
cars, a lot
Yeah.
of cars. There was a lot of guys.
I just didn't have interest in FFA, so I just didn't, steer clear from it. And then, it'd be vice versa. People didn't have interest in journalism, so, you do what you enjoy, and you don't really let other people get to you.
It's where my one true dream was ever born. Be a
Being
florist.
a farmer, being
a florist.
Isn't that a botanist?
Nope, florist and whatever is
No,
probably the
it's-
correct term. Botanist is a bit different.
Oh wait, no, botanist studies.
Botanist is
It's
actually
like
studying
flies
the
and
plant and
stuff.
stuff.
Yeah, I was gonna say yeah.
Florist is more of growing flowers or other and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I guess I also did develop a dream where I was like, oh, maybe I'll be a film director or something like that during journalism.
Yeah, and then I realized,
Then I realized,
unfortunately, I cannot do that without other money.
yeah, I just I didn't have the support for that, so maybe that's why I'm spiteful about it. Maybe that's why. I don't know, probably. But anyways, Otis, you were in band, right?
Yeah.
And then were you in? I guess you were in robotics as well. What else?
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
No sports?
No. You've seen an image of me.
That doesn't mean anything. You could be a linebacker.
No, I wasn't
Nah.
interested in football.
Amount of times people would come over.
There was a guy who said you should join rugby, and I was like, no
Yeah,
thanks.
how many
No,
times did you
should really
guys
join rugby.
did you guys have like
One time that's
coaches
happened.
like come up to
One
you
time
and
that
say
happened.
it happened a lot, surprisingly, with me. I was a lot bigger in high school. And one the coach,
I had a decent bit actually.
He kept going until my junior year, and then he
it kept
The
going
closest
up
I
until
got
my
to
senior
sports
year.
was trying out for
that was
badminton
horrible.
in 7th grade, 8th grade.
Mm-hmm.
Tried out
'Cause
for the
with-
badminton team.
Because
I
with
did not
it was always the football coach, because I was pretty like friendly with the football coach. I was friendly with all the coaches and whatnot. There's a funny story that I can say. There was one time where it was after gym, and I didn't really try in gym. I didn't really care for it because journalism kid, just kind of
I actually
sat at the
really
computer.
loved our gym.
He's like, hey, he was up with a wrestling deck, and he's like, hey, could you and our wrestling deck is like elevated compared to the gym floor. He's like, hey, could you pass me my keys? I gotta lock up the wrestling mat floor area, the upper level, because people would come up there and have sex and whatnot and stuff like that, and it'd be ruffians.
Oh no.
So I have to lock that up because animals are around there. And I'm like, yeah, sure. And I like chuck it halfway across the fucking basketball court, and it like lands up there. And he's like, Jesus, you got one fucking arm. And he's like, you want to be a quarterback or something like that? I'm like, no. He's like, how about running back or like linebacker? I'm like, no.
My brother in Christ, I can throw keys.
Yeah, and then like he saw me like throw shit like in, because we'd have like outdoor football or whatever and stuff like that, and he'd watch me throw the pigskin around, and he's like, yeah, you got a fucking cannon for an arm. He's like, you should really consider joining. And I'm like, no. And he's like, you're killing me. And I'm like, yeah, but I really don't want to be tackling no man with in a sport, man. That ain't for me. I'm not into that. And he's like, it's much more than that. It's about teamwork and being a family. And I'm like, Yeah, but you'd catch me dead staying here after 3:30 or whatever, whenever he got out of class. And eventually he just gave up, and he's like, yeah, this guy's not fucking joining. But
I mean, fair enough, right?
yeah. I mean, it was nice receiving the compliments and everything, saying, Jesus Christ, this kid's got an arm. I still think I have an arm, but, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Sports, I don't know. I have a love-hate relationship with sports. I like the idea of it. I don't do it.
I enjoy sports. I've always played sports. I'm kind of sad I haven't been able to play as much ever since getting out of high school and getting into uni. But I've also always been of the opinion that university is more about focusing on school rather than focusing on like everything else outside. I'm aside from the fact that I'm fucking around in VC with you guys every night, but
no, that's besides the point.
yeah, I do homework while I do that. So,
oh, you guys do homework? You guys study?
Bitch, I don't have homework.
You guys study? That's crazy. It's always funny to me when
crazy.
It's always crazy about how people in my classes are like, oh yeah, this exam was super difficult and whatnot. And I'm looking over, they're like, how much? They're like talking amongst themselves. I'm like, I got a 60 on the exam. I got a 70. And they're like, how much do you get? I'm like, an 82. And they're like, how much studying did you do? I'm like,
None.
That's the fun part.
Me IRL.
And they're like, what the fuck? And they're like, what do you do outside of class? I'm like, work, go to the gym sometimes, and then talk to my friends for about 6 hours on the computer, and then go to sleep. And my teachers, there was one time in my management class, my professor's like, damn, you're really good at my fucking, like, this, you are killing it in this class. He's like, what's your fucking plan? Like, what do you do? And he's like, you're getting like 99s on the papers, which are like it was a big semester project, and like each thing was a milestone. He's like, you're getting 99s on the milestone, sometimes 100. He's like, I've never seen this before, and like exams, you're fucking rocking it out of the park. And he's like, what's your habit? I want you to like share with the class, like, what do you do? And I'm like, dude, you were going to hate me. I'm like, you were going to hate me, because this is around the time Elden Ring came out. And I'm like,
go to class, go home, play Elden Ring.
No, I'm like, no. I'm like, I got up in front of the class. I'm like, hello, everyone. How are you? I'm like, I have been told by Professor X to talk to you about study habits. And I'm like, I don't know why the fuck he selected me. I said this in front of the class. And he's like, I saw his face turn like pale when I fucking said that. And I'm like, my study habits consist of, and my work ethic consists of looking at the due date, forgetting about it, and then finishing everything in 9 hours. And then when exams come, I see that the exam is happening. On the day of the exam, I show up an hour early before the exam and then take a nap. And then I take the test and get a 99 or a 97. And people ask me, and they're like, how long did you spend on the paper and stuff like that? And I'm like, when was it due? And they're like, the 14th. And I'm like, all right, I finished it on the 14th with 2 hours left. I finished all of the paper in all of it, all 74 pages in one sitting. Did you revise it? No.
74 pages?
Yes.
What?
Yes.
Were there diagrams?
I can show you. I have it. It's in the self-promotion channel.
Wait.
Actually, I'm pretty sure I read through the. Not well, but I did.
Yeah, 1206. I sent it. It's, I think, 74 pages.
How far back do I gotta go for this? Yeesh.
I have it. I can send it again. But yeah, he he was not happy with the answer. He still shook my hand and said, well, keep up the good work, I guess, in a very shaky voice. But it's definitely to my detriment. I will 100% agree with, say that, because God, writing 74 pages in one sitting is not healthy, and doing everything in one, sitting is definitely not a good thing.
Fair.
But yeah, that's my advice. Don't be me. Live the life you want to live, but don't live it by the way that I do. And I
Live,
think
laugh,
that's
love.
live, laugh, love. What else is some cliche shit? Bless the mess. Maybe that's some words to live by. Maybe they're cooking. Maybe I've treated them too harshly.
Wow.
But I think that's a good place to stop it on some inspirational quotes like live, laugh, love, and
Ugh.
2014 was only 3 months away.
It's away.
Yarr. But I hope you guys have enjoyed this episode 4 of the podcast. I have to keep reminding myself what episode we're on.
Yep.
Are we doing conspiracy theories next week like he promised?
We are doing conspiracy theories next
Yeah.
so you guys can have that to look forward to. I'd say for the members here and the members in the Discord channel to definitely put in some thought into it so we can have something to discuss. But yeah, given that it's like Halloween and it's kind of spooky season, I figured, it was supposed to come out this week. We were supposed to be talking about conspiracy theories, but Otis, I guess, forgot to upload the last podcast episode.
Yeah,
so,
that's my bad. The spookiest thing of them all, inconsistent upload schedules.
Yeah, the spookiest thing of them all being early.
Procrastination.
So,
Basically.
I guess you have that to look forward to. If this video doesn't get, or audio doesn't get 3 likes, we hang Otis by the pyre. We don't set it on fire.
Okay, that's a little bit. Okay, that's a little bit better.
We just keep him there.
How many likes did we get last week? Like,
I think you're fucked, bro.
yeah, how many? Oh,
Yeah, I think you're dead.
there's no likes. I'm already dead. Sorry, guys.
Yeah. So yeah, Otis's death will come eventually.
Yeah, are we gonna broadcast that live? Are we gonna?
No, I think it's just something we announce on Twitter and like a twit longer and say Otis is no longer with us.
Okay. Otis is fucking dead.
Yeah, Otis
The
is dead.
ball fondler got a little too handsy.
Yeah. He went on Mr. Bones' wild ride for a bit too long. But yeah, stay tuned for next episode. Hopefully it comes out next week, maybe not 3 weeks late. Maybe I'll kick myself in the foot and get it out early. But yeah, thank you guys for watching or listening or whatever you guys are fucking doing. Hope you're not jelking while you're listening to this.
I don't even remember what that means.
You don't want to.
Child.